You might have heard by now that Elon Musk is going to vote Republican for the first time, saying that Democrats have become the party of division and hate. Well, he's not alone. My next guest says Democrats' aggressive affinity for censoring debate and strong-arming doctors is making many doctors rethink their political allegiance. Joining me now is Dr. Kory of the Frontline COVID-19 Critical Care Alliance. Dr. Kory, good to see you tonight. What specifically about many of the crazy things that have happened over the 2+ years has pushed you to the edge here?
Well, it seems like politics is entering medicine, and it really doesn't have to be this way, and it shouldn't be this way. I mean, science should not be involved with politics, and I'm seeing these divisions breaking out in medicine that seems to be influenced by political allegiances, and I'm not for that. But when you look at some of the things that have been going on, I mean, we're literally talking about disinformation boards and people, going after my medical license because my scientific opinions are different from theirs and there's this single truth. I mean, it's extremely dystopian, and I find it really disorienting. And it's bad for medicine. It's bad for patients. And the lack of self-awareness of really what I'm seeing now from the left and from left-leaning media, they're abandoning their principles. I used to be for free expression, free speech, and really questioning authority. And now they're the authoritarians. And so, like Elon, I'm very disoriented by it.
Dr. Fauci spoke at Princeton this week. Dr. Kory, watch.
Elements of our society have grown increasingly inured to a cacophony of falsehoods and lies that often stand largely unchallenged, ominously leading to an insidious acceptance of what I call the normalization of untruths.
Dr. Kory, the normalization of untruths. He's probably talking about folks like you and others who question the wisdom of some of their early responses. Your response to that?
I mean, this is clearly an example of him accusing others for what he himself is doing. There is no untruth. We are transparent with our data, with our assessment of the data. When you talk about I mean, this is absurd. This is the same guy who says he is science, and now he's effectively saying he is truth. I mean, you're talking about a minister of truth now. Again, I go back to the same thing. This is absolutely dystopian. The lack of self-awareness of others to see what's going on. You have this man up there declaring that his truth is the only truth. It's absolutely bizarre. And he's unwilling to debate. He doesn't use data. I mean, he uses manipulated data. It's absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, he's very careful the way he words things. When he was questioned early on about natural immunity, acquired immunity from having gotten the virus if you were not vaccinated, he's like, well, we're studying that. I mean, he's a pretty smart guy, right? He knows basic immunology, the course of most viruses, and obviously this is a funky virus because the way it was, way it came about. But he's always very kind of cool catty how he deals with those kinds of questions, because I think he knows that they kind of botch that big time.
Absolutely. I mean, if you see how his opinions have shifted over time, and that goes back to my point. I mean, we need open, honest, scientific, transparent debate. I mean, that's how medicine advances. This is so bad for patients. For one person sitting atop the federal government health agencies telling us what is true, and we're not allowed to debate that or question that. And that's not how medicine advances. That's not how we discover how to help patients. It's absolutely going to hurt medicine if he keeps doing this. And, it has to stop.
Yeah, like vitamin D3, all these things that early on could have helped patients. Everyone pretty much is vitamin D deficient, especially early on. We saw that. Never any discussion about that, or zinc, or a lot of other things. Now, doctor, according to Pfizer, we have to get to this, 3 doses of its vaccine was found to be 80% effective in preventing symptomatic COVID in children ages 6 months to 6 years old. Now, what does that actually mean, given how little threat to children COVID is?
I'm sorry to sound so cynical, but it means that they cannot find enough people to vaccinate. And now they're going after toddlers. And they're trying to vaccinate or offer vaccinations to young people who do not have severe outcomes. No healthy young child has died. Number two, we have effective early treatments. Number three, these vaccines wane in efficacy within months, and we know that. You cannot keep vaccinating a young person throughout their life every 6 months. Even that article itself had 3 shots. I don't know what parent would put their child into an experimental gene therapy and offer them 3 shots of this vaccine for a disease that's not deadly. And then that's... And wait, Laura, that's not even mentioning the unprecedented adverse events and toxicities of these vaccines. So the idea that's actually credibly being entertained, that we would vaccinate a 6-month to a 4-year-old?
No, terrifying.
Unbelievable.
Well, Dr. Kory, we appreciate your courage in speaking out on all of these issues, and we'll check back with you soon. Thanks so much.